Hello and welcome along to Track Talk Under Lights for Friday the 31st of January. An 8-race card coming up for the final meeting of the first month of the year. But I'm pleased to welcome into the studio our third special guest on the red armchair, and he's named Damien Kinninmont, who is the Singapore Turf Club Chief Starter. Damien, great to have your company. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
How's things?
Yeah, good. Doing well.
And obviously, you're the starter here. You've been here since 2010. Take us back to the beginning, Damien. How did it all come to you to be here?
Yeah, 2010 September, I came to work for the Turf Club. I came up as the assistant starter, and in 2013 was promoted to head starter halfway through the year, and I've been here ever since. So, yeah.
And obviously a man of your experience, a lot of that derived from race riding. You're a native of Western Australia, obviously a part of Australia that Singapore has such a close connection with. Yep. Race riding, take us back to the race riding. You were telling me there was well over 100 winners.
Yeah,
you must have enjoyed your time in the saddle.
I did, yeah. It was around 116 winners from about 800 rides. Yeah, I was a lot lighter back then. 15, 16-year-old, I started.
Picture of you here. How long ago was that?
That was 1992. Yeah, that was at Belmont Park in Perth, and yeah, a lot of water's gone under the bridge since then.
It has indeed. And there's your son Bailey. Now, by the magic of TV, there's a few similarities there, Damien.
There is, yeah.
And he's on course to be an apprentice.
He is, yeah. He starts next month with Racing Victoria. He's made it through to the final 5 that they've selected, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Looking forward to that for him.
Absolutely, I'm sure you are, and obviously you strike me as a very proud person in whatever you do, your job and your vocations, your sports, and everything else that you partake in. But having known you for the last 3 years or a little bit more, you always speak very highly of Bailey and what he's done in the saddle, and he's come on leaps and bounds. He
has, yeah. He moved over from Perth to Melbourne 2 years ago to Julian Welsh. Julian's very well known for being one of the best horsemen in Australia, and I think that's really contributed to his progress. Like, he's over the 2 years to be able to get into the academy now. It's I put a lot of that. I'm playing dad with this one, having worked with the apprentices for a lot of years here. This one I'm the dad.
Be nice to sire a winner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course.
I'm sure he'll do good things in the saddle. But your day job, your day-to-day sort of routine. Obviously, there we have trials twice a week here. We have races twice a week. Obviously, you oversee all of that. It's a very important job, Damien. There's no getting away from that at all. You're one of the most important men here, surely.
Yeah, it is. I do recall you did ask me once before whether we feel the pressure of starting big races, and I guess once you've got a routine, you've got good people around you, a good team. You don't feel any pressure. It's whether it's a $3,000 maiden in the bush in Australia or it's a $3.5 million SIA Cup. It's yeah, we don't feel that pressure. Probably because of over time, and perfecting that routine, I guess.
And you've got a good team that you work with. Obviously, John Pepe and Ronnie at the start, and obviously you've got all the other people involved as well. So it's obviously it's not just yourself, but it's a big team effort. And it's a team that you credit plentiful.
Oh, for sure. Look, John Pepe's been brilliant for me and the Turf Club. Yeah, we'd be a little bit stuck with him at the moment. Well, you know, if we didn't have him at the moment. Yeah, but he's sort of come along as a very good horseman. He's done his time in Hong Kong. He did time over in the UK. Not sure
well, he spoke about it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, with Race Tech. Yeah, so no, he's a very valuable member of the team. So
he is, and interesting enough, actually, Mark Walker had a winner recently with Sacred Gift. Credited the horses just getting to the races purely to John. Yeah,
now there was a lot of work went into Sacred Gift, and I think he's unbeaten, and he's 2 from 2. Yeah, so no, it's really worth the while, and it's quite rewarding for the team when those things happen. Yeah, so.
And you were saying you became senior starter in 2013, so you were here a few years, obviously. Who did you work under before you became senior starter?
Dale Jeffs was the head starter when I came, and now Dale's he's the head starter in Sydney for probably the last, I'd say the last maybe 5 years at least.
He would have started some good ones.
Who, him or?
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Look, I remember standing next to him, next to Dale at Randwick. I think it was when Chautauqua won his first TJ. He went on to win 3. So when I look back over the racing records, there I am, you know, standing next to Dale. So yeah, no, Dale's gone on from here to do what he's doing now in Sydney, and yeah, it's a very good job for him.
And talking of records, one man that was continuously breaking records here and has gone on to break more records in Hong Kong and ride winners elsewhere was the great Joe Moreira. I know he became a very good friend of yours. And what about the night he rode 8 from 8 rides? That must have been
yeah,
quite
that was amazing. Yeah, and I can just that the Craig Evans' last call it was a horse called Ferretti. Yeah, I could just remember basically the whole length of the straight, as we can see on the screen now. In Craig's voice, I could hear that he didn't think he was going to get there. Halfway up the straight, then the horse just picked up. Joe just, I don't think anyone else would have won on that horse that night. No way. He
was and is magic, isn't he?
Oh, he's magic, all right, yeah.
And you couldn't help but get well, it's not a selfie, but the photograph.
Look, see, Joe helped a lot with the academy as well, with the apprentices. He never shied away from helping mechanical horse work. He came in and gave one of the best life stories that we've ever heard. Took us right back to his childhood, and he was told that he'd never make it. Yeah, you know, and to see what he's gone on to do, even that would have been about 7 or 8 years ago. He did that talk, and to see what he's done now is just amazing. Yeah, so
I'd love to meet the chap that told him that.
Well, the guy that told him that, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the same guy. 12 months later, Joe rode his first Group 1 winner for that guy.
That so?
Yeah, so he was an owner.
Talking of young jockeys, Damien, obviously we see it time and time again here with a lot of young jockeys coming through. I mean, at the moment, Simon Cock is top of the pile, obviously being a champion apprentice and whatnot. But a good crop of young riders. Just if I had to ask about a few of them, obviously we've got the likes of Simon, Zyrul, Shafrizal, there's a few names there.
Young Iskander, he's just come back from a broken leg. Zyrul, who spent a few years over in New Zealand, he's starting to really hit his straps. I think he's already ridden 4 winners in the first month. So now the pool is a lot smaller than what it used to be. We'll go back probably 5 years. We had, I think, 37 apprentices riding races in 2015. So to have around 10 to 12
as many
or
more than senior jockeys.
Yeah, yeah, it was a big pool. But no, it's good to have that smaller group now, and gives them a lot more opportunities too, you know.
It does. Obviously, you can dedicate your time along with Matt Pumper to their progression. I'd love to sit here and chat all day, Damien, but we are running slightly out of time to an extent. But you enjoy your time here,
for
Damien
sure.
Kinninmont. You've been here obviously 8-9 years now, so 10
9
years
and a
nearly.
half, 9.5 nearly.
Still enjoying it as much as ever?
Yeah. If you don't treat it like a job, it's never a job. You know, I just say it's a passion. We love coming to work. We love working with the horses. We love being around the industry participants. You know, it's we consider a lot of them our friends. I guess, you know, we are racing officials, but we try to keep that good relationship with everyone, so it gets the job done a lot better.
And what, if I had to ask you, was the one thing, if you can walk away from the start and say, yeah, we aced that, what would that entail? Just getting them all in nice and smooth, getting them off in one good line, and job done, I suppose. Yeah,
look, when they all walk in, they all stand there, and the jockeys are all quiet, and we press the button, they all jump out straight. That's perfect. But yeah, so we always aim for that, but of course it's not always. We're not dealing with machines, we're dealing with animals.
Exactly,
and so we try to make it as easy as we can.
How many times do you think you've hit that button?
Oh geez, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. This is my 20th year as a starter.
Wow,
yeah. So only rode for probably 6 years, and been a starter for 20. Yeah. So
it's something that you clearly enjoy doing, and you clearly do very well indeed. We got back-to-back meetings this week. How do you cope with them? Just finally, I mean, Friday nights getting into Saturday mornings. You're not getting any younger, Damien. So does it get any harder?
That's true. That's true. No, it doesn't get any harder, Nick. We do a lot of our work leading up to the race days. Wednesday, Thursdays are our busy days preparing with the horse behaviour, and we keep a good database of every horse here, so it makes our job a lot easier come race day. You know, I think we're around 1,000 horses here at the moment, and you can't be expected to remember every single horse, but we do a fair job of it. Yeah,
you certainly do. You certainly do. Well, listen, it's great to have you on the show. Great to see you here, obviously, and we see you up on that rostrum, plentiful throughout the racing year, and continue doing the good work.
No worries. Thanks, Nick.
Damien Kinninmont then, our guest on Track Talk Under Lights for Friday night. Let's take a look at the details leading into this fixture, and then we'll very shortly preview the races. Let's look at the Premierships. Mark Walker's on top with 11 winners, Jurek 10 and Simon Cock there 10 as well for the apprentices. So trainer, jockey and apprentice all in double figures, but plenty of top names in behind them. Let's take a look at the details for this fixture. It's an even split, 4 on the poly and 4 on the turf on the long course B coming up on Friday night, and do hope you can join us. 6:50 we start for the 8 races coming up on this Friday fixture. Let's look at the details for you then, tidied up, and we'll preview 8 races coming up after the break. But before we get there, let's have a look back on last week's highlight, the Fortune Bowl, won by Bold Thruster. Well, welcome into the parading ahead of the feature this afternoon. It's the $175,000 Fortune Bowl. Looking forward to this one.
Here's the first Bold Thruster. That's right, Nick. Number 3, Bold Thruster.
Set. Racing, Bold Thruster jumped well for him. Good speed from Gingerella. Grand Cutters going up there as well. Surpassed Natural Handy to the pace. Elite Power being ridden for luck. Count of Monte Cristo's in the 3 and 4 wide line. He's getting a nice drag up into the race. Grand Cutter, Bold Thruster. They engage in a stirring duel. Grand Cutter, Bold Thruster. They go to the line. Bold Thruster just held Grand Cutter. Third in was Count of Monte Cristo.